Myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are discussing about one topic that is earthquake. And in earthquake basically we discussed till now basically lots of things. Basically in this basically we discussed one story basically of one person basically who basically whose head basically was damaged and whose eye was damaged by software companies. And the software companies, everybody knows where all the software companies are in Bangalore, in Mumbai, in Vadodara city, in Gandhinagar. They all become one and damaged his head and damaged his eye. So here basically what are the things going to happen? This is basically a real story, and assume that there are few conditions basically which has taken into picture. For example, assume that when the power company collected the energy from the Vadodara city, they ignored that power supply. Sorry, they ignored that person's energy. So they have not collected the energy of the particular that person basically. So they ignored that. So here, if they ignored, assume that they have taken first. First, if we assume that they have taken the energy of that particular person. Now, what are the things going to happen? Now, what are the things going to happen? So first, assume that they have taken the energy data of that particular person. So now, what are the things going to happen? So now, what are the things going to happen? So first thing basically is going to happen that assume that person basically head was damaged by Haryana basically, and in Haryana basically they attacked through laptop. But the condition of each and every city basically is when you attack to the laptop basically. So you attack basically any city basically. That time basically the city permission is also must basically. So when that assume that person basically who got attacked, his head and basically his eye. That time basically he basically was from Vadodara city. So from Haryana to Vadodara, but without Vadodara permission, basically the that person head basically can't be damaged. So cyber cell department, which cyber cell group basically that is the police department has given the approval. Police department of the Vadodara city has given the approval. Damage his head because without police approval, basically this is not going to happen. Without police approval basically this is not going to happen. So police given the approval that damage is had. So first this every process basically has done manually that we are going to damage his head. Then basically the internet basically process started. It's not like that basically day or night basically this has happened. Somebody has signed it and everything has happened basically. Cyber cell are not fool that they will do directly. So they have taken the one sign of PSI basically. Then only they have done this head damage basically. So each and every manual process has done long before basically to damage his head basically and to damage his eye. So now basically what happened that his head is damaged, his eye is damaged. Now what are the things going to happen? Power company collected the data, okay, and then basically they assume that they have done lots of process, and then basically the data is sent to universe basically for the planet creation because each and every energy basically are collected to create planet only. So they have sent to the planet, and then basically there basically what happened? They have merged with the planets also. Basically, this was basically not checked by the universe group. Basically, that this type of incidents basically has happened. Basically, this type of incidents has happened. That basically universe group basically don't know. Then basically they thought that basically they have checked each and everything, but then basically they have merged with the planets. Then 250 crore planets basically merged with that data basically, which data basically was telling that this head basically was damaged by Haryana basically group, and which was approved by the Vadodara city and police of the Vadodara basically this and the cyber cell of the Vadodara city. They basically have approved this, but before proving cyber cell basically the all the manual process was done. So first manual sign basically was taken that we are going to damage his head basically. So PSI basically or basically commissioner basically of Vadodara city has given the permission that damage his head basically. You can damage his head basically. So without approval of any police basically, cyber cell will never basically is going to do anything. So that person, for example, that person is basically very powerful. Just taking as an example, then basically commissioner permission is also taken. So permission of commissioner also basically has approved basically. So assume that he is not powerful person. So PSI permission basically is going to take. But this confirmation basically commissioner also gives basically. Not because each and every single person basically in Vadodara city, whatever things basically happens, that is basically permission given by police department. Without police department, not a single basically incidents happen in Vadodara city. So the head damage was approved by the police department, and then basically and police department say that we have given contract to cyber cell basically. So cyber cell department basically has given the approval. They have given the full permission to cyber cell and told that basically you can do anything basically you want to do in Vadodara city. So they basically literally damage the head because they don't know basically the things basically which is going to happen. They basically don't know. So 250 crore planets basically this condition basically merged with that. So in this entire IT industry also came, entire Vadodara department, entire Vadodara police department also came, and entire Vadodara city of the software industry also came, and entire Haryana software industry came, and from Haryana to Vadodara city, whatever internet roadmap basically was taken, that also was basically was came. So for example, one Airtel provider or basically Geo provider data was used. This all basically this Geo Airtel basically group basically don't know. They also know basically because they also give the permission na, basically. Because the data was passed to Haryana, it was when it basically came to Vadodara city. So through Airtel or basically Geo roadmap only which has came. Here basically I'm taking example of Airtel and Geo because mostly in India basically these are only are using. So they also basically might have know this. So their people also basically approved it. That means here basically owner was doing time pass when this basically data was approved basically. Or basically he might be doing some other basically task basically. In that task basically somebody told that approve it. Somebody basically without asking owner basically this not a single task basically are done. So they have done as a scene that basically he actually approved, but he basically don't know that this was related to this, and they basically has taken the approval also. So like this basically the Airtel provider also basically approved it. So in this basically incidents, what are the things basically, and in this basically the God group also basically was involved. For example, he was doing the fast of Hanumanji. So Hanuman group basically, for example, in Vadodara city there is some Bajrang Dal Sena. So they also basically got the approval. Basically, can we damage his head? They told that yes, basically we can damage it. So they also approved it. They also basically approved it. So in this basically the Hanuman group also basically came. So this also condition merged with the universe. That this person damage was damaged by with the approval of Vadodara city, Hanuman Sena, that is Bajrang Dal Sena. Then through the Airtel or Geo, basically I'm taking example of Airtel or Geo, Airtel and Geo, and the mobile provider and the entire police department, and police department has given control to whom? Cyber cell. So cyber cell basically do their duty. They are 100% going to do their duty. So they have done their 100% duty. In this basically what are the things basically happen? This entire condition basically merged with the universe, and 250 crore planets basically merged with this condition basically. Now basically one more condition basically. Assume that the power company basically has not taken not taken the data of that particular person basically. That person data was not taken. Now what are the things going to happen when they were collecting the power data? Then basically what are the things going to happen? The things basically is going to happen is the assume that person basically is from Vadodara city. His energy basically is merged with the Vadodara city, and in Vadodara city basically, and in Vadodara city basically assume that his energy is basically circulating in Vadodara city. For assume that it circulate for 30 years, just taking as an example, and basically they ignored for 30 years data basically. Now basically what are the things going to happen? The Vadodara city is going to face some big earthquake basically, and this is also one of the earthquake mechanism basically. This you can take as a earthquake mechanism basically, and this all story basically are connected with directly with earthquakes basically. And assume that basically his data was when basically the damage was happened, that time basically assume that when Haryana city has damaged his head basically, that time basically the Haryana city, Haryana land basically was created from 7 crore planets. Sorry, 7 lakh crore planets basically. And Vadodara city basically land was created from 3 lakh crore planets. And assume that the approval basically which was given by the land basically, that was Vasna's area basically. The Vasna area basically is created by 3,000 crore planets. 3,000 crore planet. 3,000 crore planet basically. 3,000 crore planet basically. So this all basically was approved basically. Without approval basically not a single basically task happens basically. So like this basically the earthquake basically condition satisfied. Reason behind was the land basically energy was used. And here now the question is basically the universe basically, that is the 7 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore, and the 3,000 crore is going to affect. Then one person told that basically if the data basically has merged with the universe, then 100% this is going to affect. When the data is merged with the universe, then 100% the universe gain is going. That is basically the 7 lakh crore planet, and then basically one person told that basically if the Earth planet only get disappear, then one person told that basically there is a rule basically that Earth planet can never be disappear. Then one person told that basically if the Earth planet generation, that is the Earth planet gets end, then basically he told that basically then also basically things basically is going to happen because it's already merged with the 2000 200 crore planets, no, basically that's why. Then also basically one person told that basically chances are basically there if the Earth planet, entire Earth planet gets end. Then basically he told that basically no basically because things is already done basically 200 crore planets basically has already merged with the planets and universe basically the conditions basically. That means entire universe is going to affect 100%. That was the basically the things basically which has told. So here basically due to Haryana land, Vadodara city, and that Vasna land, the entire 200 crore planet basically got affected. Here basically I have taken just an example, and this is the real example actually. One person basically head was damaged and eye was also damaged basically. Due to that also Vasna city basically is near Shankar Bhagwan temple basically. If in near Shankar Bhagwan temple basically this type of incidents happen, then basically nobody will believe in God only basically. Nobody will believe in God only basically. And then basically that person basically was doing the fasting of Hanumanji also. And here basically Hanuman Bajrangal basically also approved it that you can damage his head basically. You can damage his head basically. So we can just imagine basically the things basically which has already happened and already merged basically. Now basically one person told that basically is there any basically revert of this basically? Then he told that basically how basically you can revert basically that it has already merged with the planets, it has already merged with the 250 crore planets basically, then how the thing basically is going to happen? So in next part basically we are going to say a little bit more about the earthquakes.